Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
With my love and respects. Before entering into the sutras, I want all of you to just sit for a few seconds. Sit straight and just prepare yourself. Because this understanding about which I am going to talk gave me the courage to leave the home. Today's subject is Maya. Actually, many times, the young age I used to think I should leave the home, go around, live a sannyas life. Suddenly, one day, when I was reading one of the Shankara's work on this Maya, somehow the concept clicked. The word Maya cannot be translated into English. Thinking the lesser reality as the higher reality is what we call Maya. What you are seeing, you can't say this is illusion. No, this is not ultimate. Your understanding this is ultimate is illusion. The moment the click happened, I was ready not only to leave the house, decided to live like a Shankara. In the Vedic tradition, anybody wants to become enlightened has to leave their home. They have to become homeless. It is a basic condition for enlightenment. You can't be in your hometown. You have to start wandering, studying, because to enter into the ultimate truth, you need to have the courage to go behind wherever it leads. There is a beautiful sutra in Brahma Sutra, the first sutra of Brahma Sutra. It says, Atato Brahma Jignasat. Let us inquire into the reality. It says, only a courageous person who is ready to go behind wherever truth leads can enter into this science. In those days, we had a beautiful system. When somebody becomes enlightened, he will go around and sit with all other scholars, pandits, learned people, and he will open up his understanding. The other person will open up his understanding. Whoever can take the other person to the deeper level of understanding will follow him. That's all. That is why exploring the truth into the deeper and deeper level has been made as a compulsory basic value for anybody who wants to explore the reality, explore into the truth. What we need to understand from this story, courage to go behind the truth, wherever it leads. Even they are ready to gamble with their life, but they are ready for truth. If you accept or start working on the reality, whatever you see can be Maya. It feels as if the ground on which you are standing is opening or giving way, is taken away. It needs courage. It may suddenly open a new door to you. You must be able to go into the door, only then you can see the next door. Because I am trying to reproduce the same understanding and experience which happened in me. Understand? When I understood that Maya, the concept of Maya, it gave me so much of joy and courage to do anything. I decided I will live like a Shankara. There is every possibility you will catch the glimpse. I am not telling you will run away from a home. You will have the same energy and excitement and liberation when you realize this truth. If this one concept Maya is understood logically by you, no suffering can make low curve in you. Nobody can exploit you easily. If you can just open that courage, this understanding can open new doors for you. If you understand this clearly, you will have the courage. If you have little courage, you will have understanding. It's like a circle. Who will start first?
I represent Kailasa nation led by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, which speaks on behalf of 2 billion Hindus around the world who do not have a voice representing them in these international forums.
Alright, I'll start from my side first. I'll give the understanding. Let you add courage to it. Let's enter into the sutra. Illusions deceive, colors circumscribe, even divisibles are indivisible. Look becomes Shiva.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of MahaParamashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyanandam, we welcome all the viewers to this yet another new episode on the autobiography of the Avatar, the life of Swamiji. As in yesterday's session, we started with the birth of Swamiji, how he took birth, why an avatar is needed in the society, why these divine beings have to land again and again, time and again, to raise the consciousness of humanity and make sure that we continue there and then go to the next level. That is why avatars are needed. And that is why we had Krishna, we had Rama, and now our beloved Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, is the avatar of this millennia. So when we go into his life, we can see how in a so human level, he is able to give us that experience saying that, hey, I was a man, but now I did something in me that made me a god. That is the way Swamiji gives us the experience of his autobiography. Like his birth was, he did not just suddenly miraculously appear. Just like how Sri Rama was born, he was also born. How Sri Krishna was born, he was also born. How a normal human would be born, he was born. And then he lived a normal life where he had a normal childhood, but with the right masters in the right ecosystem. So Swamiji is showing us that even though just because he had the right ecosystem doesn't mean that he became enlightened and he realized his avatarhood because of the ecosystem alone. Yes, Swamiji always says that it is so much because of the ecosystem, but it is the Guru in Swamiji's life who awakened him. Arunagiri Yogeshwara, Paramashiva himself came in the form of his Guru and raised him. That is one story which we'll be seeing in later parts of this series. But in today's session, we'll be going into more detail and depth into Swamiji's birth. What he felt about his birth. Yesterday it was more about the concept of the avatar happening. Today, in Swamiji's own words, we'll be seeing a video on the birth of Swamiji. But before that, I would want to share to you some beautiful sharings from Swamiji and his mother about the birth of Swamiji.
Yes, in Swami's own words, the timing was ideal for a female child's birth. It was the Tamil month of Margari, January 1978, on the Chitra Nakshatra star. The important aspect of my horoscope is Chitra Nakshatra, Kanni Rasi and Kanni Lagna. Those of you who know astrology will know that For this combination, only a girl child can be born because it was a body that was beyond male and female at a time suitable for a girl child. A male body was born. My mother experienced enlightenment when I was born. One more important thing, when an enlightened soul, enlightened consciousness lands on the body, for those three kshanas, 3 moments, the mother who's giving birth becomes enlightened. She gets the Satori experience. This happened with Sri Ramakrishna and Ramana Maharishi's mothers. Even with my own mother, when I saw her energy, I saw very clearly she had the enlightenment experience when I took birth.
Now we'll be listening to a few questions which were asked to Swami Amma, Swamiji's mother, and she's going to be sharing about the conception and delivery of Swamiji.
In Swamiji's own words, as if in response to the grandparents' prayers, the avatar Paramahamsanithyananda came down with the bio-memory of both Arunachaleshwara and Meenakshi. Their prayers actually reflected the yearning of the entire humanity itself, another sweet Leela of the cosmos. His mother, however, did not pray to any god or goddess to come as her own child in a rare interview. Manitya Lokanayake Ananda, the avatar's biological mother, and now his initiated sannyasi disciple, lovingly called Swami Amma by his other disciples, remembers the details of her pregnancy, a momentous period in the Purana, epic history of the avatar. Question: did you plan for the second child, Amma? Swami Amma answers for this: we never planned that way. Nowadays people say they want a child or they don't want a child. Nothing like that. Just like that, in regular life I conceived. We never thought we want or we don't want. It just happened. My parents were planning to go to Tirupati, so my husband, my first son Sendil, the avatar's elder brother, and my party grandmother came, and some other came. All went as a group. We went to 7 or 8 temples. We went to Kalahasti and Kanchipuram also. It was 1 week trip. We went around the Tirupati hill and early in the morning we did Anga Pradakshanam to the temple, the entire body by rolling on the ground. My husband and I also did that. I had bouts of vomiting after that. Then I got a doubt because I had missed my periods that month. It was confirmed that I had conceived. Everything was normal. I continued my life routine. It was normal for 9 months, and after that I went to the hospital for the delivery. Question: can you tell us about your delivery pain and how it started? Swami Amma answers for that. When the pain started, it was a slight pain. The time was evening around 6:30 p.m. My mother had gone for a condolence visit due to a death in my neighborhood. I neglected my mild pain and I was cooking rice, making coffee and distributing to everybody. When my mother came back, she looked at my face. She said, "Your face was looking fine when I left, but now it looks different." I said I had mild pain and I'm doing some work. In those days, they would not take you to the hospital when you have only a slight pain. They would touch your head to check the heat on the crown of your head. And if you had sweat on your forehead, then they would take you to the hospital. She said do not do any work, and she went in for a bath. Then we went to the hospital around 9:30 or 10 p.m. Question: who else went with you to the hospital? Swami Amma answers for this. In those days, they would say that the mother should not come to the hospital with the pregnant daughter. So 2 neighbors came with me. After that, my mother, my husband, everybody came immediately. I was in my mother-in-law's house for 8 months of my pregnancy, and in the beginning of the 9th month, I came to my mother's house. The next question that was asked was the delivery smooth? Swami Amma replies for this: yes, the delivery was very smooth. The baby was really big. The nurses and doctors asked me, "Didn't you eat anything other than Horlicks?" The baby was so big, they said that the baby was so chubby, beautiful, fair, and looked like a baby from a healthy family. I had a normal delivery and I was discharged from the hospital in 5 days. We came home. I was in my parents' home for 3 months. I was doing all the routine work. I never expected anybody else to do my work. I was normal. I would do all the work. My mother used to say that for 9 days I should not do anything. So from the 10th day I started doing the work. I would fold clothes, help the children comb their hair, helping in cleaning the vegetables, etc. I would help in the cleaning work and my mother would do the kitchen work. Then I went back to my mother-in-law's house on Tiruvannamalai Street. Question: how was the naming ceremony? Swamyama replies for this. On the ninth day, the priest came and did all the rituals. We both decided on the same day of the child. My husband was fond of my father and he wanted to name the child after him. I like the name Shekhar. Since my father's name is Raja Mudaliyar, we continued both the name and gave the name Rajashekhar. The next question was for Swamyama was, what did the astrologer say? Swamyama replies for this. My husband's brother showed him the baby's horoscope, and the astrologer told that he will become a Swami, a monk.
So with this we have come to this beautiful place where we heard from Swamiji's mother itself how she experienced the whole process from the start, how she conceived, and then how much work she did. And actually, we can even see this in Swamiji's life, where no matter what, he is so workaholic, and that is what he has taught all of us also to be workaholic like that and continuously do your work, do your responsibilities, and make sure that you're contributing continuously in some or the other way. So now with this, we'll be moving into the video where Swamiji itself will be sharing to us about how he experienced the birth. Let's all listen to Swamiji's satsang now.
Let's start with Ganga Mata ki. Vyasa sings. Before singing the Bhagavatam, see, before starting anything, you should remember the divine. You should remember the divine grace so that it will go beautifully. Vyasa says, before starting your story, who else I can remember? I have to remember only you again. Even before starting the story, I have to remember only you. So now we don't know who to remember. I think we should remember the energy which landed as Nithyananda. Only that can guide us. Let it be very clear. Just like you all, I am also going to listen. I promise. Just like you all, I am also going to listen. Because I don't know. I also don't know what is going to come out or what way it is going to express itself. Let it be very clear. Just like you all, I am also going to listen. So I also bow down to the energy which landed as Nithyananda and let that energy guide and do the whole thing as it wants. Tava katamritam tapta jivanam kavivirididam kalmashapakam Shravanamangalam Srimadadadam Bhuvigrunandi de Bhuridajana Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvaditam Gagana Sadrisam Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavadidam Drigунarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's start with the birth. Let me describe exactly the experience of birth. I do not want to add my commentary to it now. Let me describe the experience itself. Maybe later on I'll give the explanation. The experience itself is really wonderful. There was no dual or two things first, like a darkness covered by darkness. I can't even say darkness covered by darkness. That word doesn't have meaning. It can be said even in the way like a light covered by light. There was no experience, experiencer and experienced separately. There was only one consciousness, which is intelligent, which is alive, and which is enjoying itself. Understand? The consciousness is such, it is alive, and it knows it is alive, and it enjoys just being alive. Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means it is alive, truth. Chit means it knows it is alive, means it is conscious of its life, its existence. Ananda means it is enjoying its own existence. That is what we call Satchidananda. Yesterday I was telling that, I think yesterday or today, that Baba, Naga Baba with whom I lived, he was in Uttarakashi. Maybe I'll narrate the incident later on. With Naga Baba, I lived in Uttarakashi. He's a great Mahatma. I used to ask him, Baba, why don't you teach me something? He will never open his mouth. He was a very different kind of soul. Finally, somehow, one day, I sat with him and said, something, Baba, tell something. At least one line, so that I will remember that constantly and keep that with me. And he was much more strong than me. He did not open his mouth. Finally, one day he said, he doesn't speak much. He said, means he is going, that he is continuing his travel. So I also have to go on my way. I said, I am coming with you. He said, no, I am going. Then he gave me that pipe with which he used to smoke. That pipe, he gave it to me. I said, okay, Baba, I am so happy you gave me this pipe. I kept that pipe with me for quite a long time. I don't know after that what happened to that pipe. I asked him, this pipe may be, it can get lost. Tell me something which will not be lost. I'll carry it with me always. Some one line, one word, one teaching, something tell me. He was not opening his mouth. I said, all right, next, whatever word you are going to utter, even if you say, fool, get lost, I'll take that word as a mantra. Whatever you are going to say now, open your mouth, at least you will say goodbye. Because now we are going to depart. That word I'll take it as a mantra. Then he started laughing and he said one beautiful line, Deham Naham Koham Soham. Whole Vedanta, just in one line. Deham Naham, I am not the body. Then Koham, who am I? Ask, you will experience Soham, I am the whole. I am everything. Deham Naham Koham Soham. Deham, this body. Naham means I am not that. Then who am I? Koham. Ask, you will realize Soham. Soham means the whole universe. I am the whole universe. When he said that word, I just took it as a big gift, prasada. Then I asked him, Baba, you said this word. I'll take this as your blessing. But can you give me some more, few more words so that I'll digest this? Then he said, that is why I did not open my mouth. If I say one line, then you'll ask for something more, just like you all. Then, of course, he did not speak. Then, just before leaving, he used to have his one iron thing to kindle the fire. With that chimta, he just gave me one blow on the head. Suddenly, I realized the same truth which I was saying now, which I was telling you. Being alive and knowing that you are alive and enjoying that you are alive, celebrating that you are alive. Being alive, knowing that you are alive, enjoying, celebrating that you are alive. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Being alive is Sat, truth. Knowing that you are alive is consciousness. And enjoying, ecstatic, the celebrating that you are alive is Ananda. In the deep sleep state, you are there. Sat is there. You are alive. But Chit is not there. You don't know you are alive. That is why the sleep is not Samadhi. That is why sleep is not Samadhi. That is the difference between Samadhi and sleep. You are alive, but you are not aware that you are alive. Not only being alive, being aware that you are alive and enjoying that you are alive is Ananda, Satchidananda. First, it was just the Satchidananda, nothing else. I was conscious, I was alive, and I know I was alive, and I was just enjoying that I am alive. I exist. Suddenly, in a very vague way, one small light, please understand, I am explaining frame by frame what happened during my birth. During my birth, frame by frame what happened, I am explaining for biography. Later on, I'll explain every frame. The first frame was a light in somewhere around South India, southern India. But I do not know at that moment it was Arunachala or something like that. Just somewhere around southern India. That was the first slide, first scene. The next scene, like a star, shooting star, I was just pulled by that light. The second scene was like a shooting star, I entered into that light. The third scene in my consciousness was the Arunachala. By now, I know I already taken the body. I already taken the body. I am inside the body. It was around 11:45, January 1st, 1978. Then it took around 40 to 45 minutes for me to settle into the body and come out. So according to doctors, the time is something like a 12:30. But according to me, 11:45. 11:45 of January 1st. That was the time. First, the Arunachala appeared in the consciousness, in the inner space. And the moment I saw the Arunachala in the inner space, I know the body is, I have assumed the body, or I entered into the body. It was such an auspicious energy. Whenever a master lands on the planet Earth, a clairvoyance happens. Like how they say now the holes in the ozone layer, something like that. The conscious layer is drilled for a enlightened being to land. I can describe this scene like whenever a clairvoyance lands on the planet Earth, whole planet Earth celebrates. The whole existence celebrates. That is what they describe metaphysically. All the gods and goddesses land and celebrated the Krishna's birth. That is what they mean when they say these great masters, when they took birth, all the gods and goddesses showered flowers, they landed and celebrate. This is what they mean. Means such an auspicious energy happens on the planet Earth. The whole existence celebrates. The whole existence celebrates. Somehow in my case, not only gods and goddesses, people all over the world were celebrating because it was a new year. It was a new year. All over the world were celebrating already. Not only the gods and goddesses. Because such an auspicious energy lands on the planet Earth. It is impossible to describe. Because whenever a clairvoyance happens on the planet Earth, using that same hole, same opening, you can also escape. The possibility for beings to get enlightened, see the same door only. Whether to come here or from here to go there, same door only. When the door opens, you can sneak in or sneak out. There is a possibility you can take a jump. That is why we use all the birthdays are the Jayanti days. We call it as Jayanti, not birth. Please understand, whenever we mention the birthday of an enlightened master, we don't call that as a birth date. Jayanti. Jayanti means they visited, they came, not taking birth, they came. That is why we call Jayanti means in Sanskrit literally going. Going. That is the word means. Because the masters visit the planet. It's called Jayanti. We use the masters' Jayantis to meditate because the clairvoyance creates a possibility for you to take a quantum jump. You can also escape using that same zone and space into spacelessness, into timelessness. It was again Ashtami Tidhi, the 8th day, and Krishna Ashtami means towards the new moon. From full moon to new moon is Krishna Vaksha. From new moon to full moon is Sukla Vaksha. Is the Krishna Vaksha. What do you call in English? Moon waning. The 8th day of moon waning. Krishna Vaksha Ashtami. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, why did you choose January 1st to take birth? I made a casual comment. In India, all masters' birthday is becoming holiday. Already we are suffering with too much of holidays. I do not want future my disciples to do something and get one more holiday. Better let's take birth in the already declared holiday so that India won't much suffer with some more holidays. Anyhow, within 45 minutes, I became aware of the body after the body came out. I could feel very clearly that I am conscious of the whole happening. I was not unconscious. I was conscious of whole happening. And it was a very auspicious, ecstatic, joyful experience. It was not painful. It was an auspicious, joyful experience. My mother also said that it was a very easy delivery. She was also saying, very easy delivery. One more thing. This is the very beautiful experience which I am sharing first time. Till the age of 3, till I met the Raghupati Yogi, who was my first teacher, till I met him and till he initiated me, whenever I was alone, I used to see 11 people around me. Whenever I was alone, whether I was put in the bed or any time, I used to see 11 people around me. And I used to think, actually now only I say whenever I am alone, 11 people used to be around me. That time I used to think they used to be always around me. They are some relatives. I never had the idea that they are not my relatives. They are not my relatives. My house used to be too filled with too many people. It's like a giant family. You don't know who is who and what is what, and who is whose husband or whose daughter and all those things. It's a giant family. And I never used to know my relatives or family people and all those things. 11 people used to be always around me. So I thought something like just like a normal thing. Only after I met the Raghupati Yogi, the moment he initiated me, I'll describe later on how the initiation happened and all those things. The moment he initiated me, all the 11 have disappeared and I have never seen them again. When I asked Raghupati Yogi, he was shocked and he said, they must be Bhairavas. Bhairavas? Maybe they were protecting your body. And I neither understood nor appreciated his comment. I neither understood his comment nor appreciated what he meant. And I just left it. In my young age, I used to have a notebook in which I'll write all these stories which I hear from the saints or some instructions. This Raghupati Yogi is a person, very meticulous person. Whenever he teaches me something, he will force me to write down. Anyhow, fortunately, my mother preserved all those notebooks. We got the notebooks, now it is in the ashram. We should thank her for preserving all these beautiful relics. She has preserved the whole thing, because after I left the house, the family went through a lot of change. Means the house shifting from place to place. Some 3-4 places they shifted the house. She did not protect the furnitures or all the other things which she had in the house. But she protected all these things very carefully. Actually, in the notebook, I have written in my own hand, maybe around the age of 10 or something, about this 11 Bhairavas also. Before eating, I used to do morning puja. In the puja time, I'll repeat this, all the God's names. In that, I used to repeat this 11 Bhairavas names. Because this Raghupati Yogi said, later on when I read Sharada Devi's life, I realized Sharada Devi was also protected by 8 Sakhis of Devi when she was a baby. When she was a baby, 8 Sakhis of Devi, 8 attendants of Devi used to be always with Sharada Devi. She says, only when I read that, I understood the comment of this Raghupati Yogi. Earlier, I was neither able to understand nor able to appreciate. Actually, I asked Raghupati Yogi, then why did they disappear now? He said, now they have handed over you to me because now I am taking care. There is no need for them to be here. That's the reason they are not around you. They are not here physically. This Raghupati Yogi is one of my great inspiration. I can say he is a first teacher. Even though he himself is not an enlightened person, he happened in my life for a purpose. I can say my whole physical strength I vow to him. My body is able to be alive and hold the enlightenment. See, enlightenment is like a bringing some 3-4 elephants into this small hut. What will happen to this hut? Like that only enlightenment. But still my body is alive, active and talking to you means that single soul, Raghupati Yogi, is responsible. I remember him really with great respect and gratitude, because at the age of 3, he chose me. I neither know about yoga, nothing. He chose me. Actually, he used to stay in the same street where my house was there, where I was born and brought up. In that same street, he used to stay. So he was a close friend of my father and grandmother and everybody, the whole family. He was born and brought up in Burma. In that time, Burma was not separate place. Burma was almost like India. And he stayed with the Tibetan Lamas also for quite a long time and learned this yoga and all those things with them. He himself is an adept, master in yoga. I can say few things about him as an introduction. Of course, if you read the biography, you would have read. He can fly on the air. I myself have seen. He can just lift himself on the air. And not only that, like a fun, he will make us go under him. Small boys, we used to just run under him. See whether anything else is there. He will just lift himself. Like a small boys run under something, under the cart. Like that we used to run under him. He can lift himself. And not only that, he will empty his lungs and tie a iron rope, iron wire, and he will just inhale. The iron wire will burst to pieces. It will burst to pieces. The power of his lungs or the inhaling, the iron wire will burst to pieces. He will exhale in a relaxed way. He will tie that iron wire. Just he will inhale, that's all. The wire will burst to pieces. And whenever he finds some snakes here and there, he will catch them and put them in the nose. They will go inside and come out through mouth. He will do all sorts of game. He's an adept in yoga. Adept in yoga. And not only that, when he eats something, after eating, he will just do something he will just snap. And simply, in 2-3 seconds, the whole food, actually he will just take the intestine out and clean it. I don't know how he is doing and all those things. If disciples, actually some disciples, if they bring food and force him to eat, he never usually eats. If they force him to eat, he will eat in front of them just to console them out of compassion. The moment they go away, he will do something 2-3 seconds near the mouth, and just the whole intestine he will bring it out and wash it clearly with water and put it back. Impossible to comprehend all these things. He's an adept in Ashtanga Yoga and a master. I can say maybe the Parashakti has sent him to prepare my body or to prepare the body to hold the enlightenment. From the age of 3, actually, he will come to the house, he will stand below and shout. He is the first person who started calling me Samyar, means Swami. Because of him, everybody has started calling me Swami. Around the age of 3, I don't know what he meant by calling me Swami, or what he understood, or what, we don't know. He used to call me Swami. In Tamil, Samyar Paya means, I can't translate. It's a very slang way of addressing a small boy. I'll come down. He will take me to the main temple, the Arunachala temple. Make me do all sorts of yoga practices, 3-4 hours. And finally take me to a nearby hotel and get me coffee and food. Actually, that is the only reason I used to go to To tell you honestly, after that he will take me to the hotel. Nothing else matters. And he's a nice, very nice person. You can relate with him so well, and very loving person. Very loving. All sorts of magic he will do. Bringing chocolate, anything. And if I say that I will not come, no, today I am not coming. Then he will say, I'll give you chocolate. Or something he will tell. I'll give you this, I'll give you that. And moreover, only in the initial level, something like a 6 months only, I will not come on all those drama. After seeing his materializing power and all, naturally the love and respect started growing. Love and respect started growing. The relationship became little intimate. Maybe around the age of 5, he materialized that conch. Still it is in our ashram. He materialized the conch. The full conch he materialized and gave me. That was the time I asked him,
I bless you all. Let you all open all your 3 eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasudashiva. Om Nithyananda.
Yes, so that was a beautiful sharing from Swamiji itself, how he experienced his landing, how he experienced his birth, and he landed beautifully into the body. After that, Swamiji shares that how he experienced the birthing process and how he saw Arunachala first. Then after that, he decided that that is where he's going to take birth. And then he consciously chose that this person is going to be my mother, that Swami Amma is going to be my mother, and then landed in that body, and then the beautiful birthing process that happened after that. And then Swamiji also moved on to share about Raghupati Yogi, how his guru was the first person to start training him, how Raghupati Yogi was the first person to start training him into all of these science of power manifestation and this higher yogic sciences. That is the most important thing that we need to take from this whole session, is that we feel that we cannot manifest any of this, but Swamiji shows that even though being in the same human body, being as he is also made and has flesh and blood like all of us, it is just the cognition and the initiation of the Guru that can completely change your life and make you into Swamiji itself. So that is what is the most important thing that we need to understand. So where can we actually get this experience? One, a deeper experience into the life of Swamiji, and two, get the initiation and cognition like how Swamiji got from Raghupati Yogi. The blessed place for you to get that is in the Paramashivoham program, which is going to be starting. Now, as we come to the conclusion of this session, let us also take a few minutes to apply the intention and join the Paramashivoham program, as that is where we are going to actually experience these higher truths, and there will be personalized care and sessions where they will talk, where the acharyas will give us the understanding from Swamiji's life on how these different sciences of Paramashiva, these different powerful cognitions, how they can be bolted into our lives, become our founding core cognitions, and from that space how we can start living. So now let's take a few minutes as we move into the next session to register ourselves in the Paramashivoham program. The next session we'll be seeing about Kailasa, about the contributions of Kailasa, and about how Kailasa is the future for Hinduism. So with this, we'd like to thank all the viewers for staying with us in this session. And the next session will be happening in a new stream in the YouTube. So make sure that you join us in the new stream. And with that, we'll be seeing you there. Thank you, Nithyanandam.
Welcome you all with my love and respects. Before entering into the sutras, I want all of you to just sit for a few seconds. Sit straight and just prepare yourself. Because this understanding about which I am going to talk gave me the courage to leave the home. Today's subject is Maya. Actually, many times, the young age I used to think I should leave the home, go around, live a sannyas life. Suddenly, one day, when I was reading one of the Shankara's work on this Maya, somehow the concept clicked. The word Maya cannot be translated into English. Thinking the lesser reality as the higher reality is what we call Maya. What you are seeing, you can't say this is illusion. No, this is not ultimate. Your understanding this is ultimate is illusion. The moment the click happened, I was ready not only to leave the house, decided to live like a Shankara. In the Vedic tradition, anybody wants to become enlightened has to leave their home. They have to become homeless. It is a basic condition for enlightenment. You can't be in your hometown. You have to start wandering, studying, because to enter into the ultimate truth, you need to have the courage to go behind wherever it leads. There is a beautiful sutra in Brahma Sutra, the first sutra of Brahma Sutra. It says, Atato Brahma Jignasat. Let us inquire into the reality. It says, only a courageous person who is ready to go behind wherever truth leads can enter into this science. In those days, we had a beautiful system. When somebody becomes enlightened, he will go around and sit with all other scholars, pandits, learned people, and he will open up his understanding. The other person will open up his understanding. Whoever can take the other person to the deeper level of understanding will follow him. That's all. That is why exploring the truth into the deeper and deeper level has been made as a compulsory basic value for anybody who wants to explore the reality, explore into the truth. What we need to understand from this story, courage to go behind the truth, wherever it leads. Even they are ready to gamble with their life, but they are ready for truth. If you accept or start working on the reality, whatever you see can be Maya. It feels as if the ground on which you are standing is opening or giving way, is taken away. It needs courage. It may suddenly open a new door to you. You must be able to go into the door, only then you can see the next door. Because I am trying to reproduce the same understanding and experience which happened in me. Understand? When I understood that Maya, the concept of Maya, it gave me so much of joy and courage to do anything. I decided I will live like a Shankara. There is every possibility you will catch the glimpse. I am not telling you will run away from a home. You will have the same energy and excitement and liberation when you realize this truth. If this one concept Maya is understood logically by you, no suffering can make low curve in you. Nobody can exploit you easily. If you can just open that courage, this understanding can open new doors for you. If you understand this clearly, you will have the courage. If you have little courage, you will have understanding. It's like a circle. Who will start first?
I represent Kailasa nation led by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Srinithyananda Paramashivam, which speaks on behalf of 2 billion Hindus around the world who do not have a voice representing them in these international forums.
Alright, I'll start from my side first. I'll give the understanding. Let you add courage to it. Let's enter into the sutra. Illusions deceive, colors circumscribe, even divisibles are indivisible. Look becomes Shiva. Welcome you all with my love and respects. Before entering into the sutras, I want all of you to just sit for a few seconds. Sit straight and just prepare yourself. Because this understanding